So welcome to session 4 of the 10x Your Options trading series from Options Trading IQ. Today we're looking at a simple step-by-step process for becoming a professional option trader. So I'm going to show you the exact process that I use and go through that in detail. All right, so quick recap of session 3 for those who've watched it. If you haven't seen it yet, don't worry, those links are available for that. But we talked about two of my favorite strategies in this market for when we get overbought conditions. So the weekly diagonal spread was the first one. We looked at the trading plan that I use. We looked at that in detail. And then we went through a couple of examples as well. We also looked at the bearish butterfly. Again, similar kind of entry criteria, and we're looking for overbought conditions. Looked at the exact trading plan that I use. We talked about theoretical capital base of 100,000, how we would allocate that capital, how we would place the trades, how we would scale in, all that sort of thing. And we looked at some examples. So really powerful strategies, those two. I've got the 6 core strategies that I use, and these were 2 of the ones that I discussed in session 3, 2 of my favorite ones. And then we had a brief look at the other core strategies and briefly at when to use them. Okay. So in terms of the steps, I'm going to try and break this down for you guys into a simple process. So the first step was avoiding the 2 mistakes. So we talked about that. We talked about not getting sucked into buying out of the money options. Generally, that's a tough way to trade. You've got to be right on both the direction and the timing, and very difficult to do. Okay, so we talked about that. And we also talked about not having a trading plan, so how important that is, and talked about having a trading plan for each individual strategy, which you've seen some examples of, and also having an overall trading plan for your total portfolio in terms of how many positions are you going to have open, what's your trading style, what are some risk management processes that you might use, and those can be things like delta theta ratios and things like that, and some of your delta dollars exposure. So those were the 2 mistakes, so not having a trading plan and not buying out of the money options. So we don't want to be doing that. Step 2 was using probabilities in your favor. So we're talking about how generally markets are going to move in a sideways pattern the majority of the time, and how we can use that to our advantage by taking advantage of time decay, and also getting an idea of how far the market might move in terms of standard deviations and things like that. Step 3 was looking at volatility. So we delved into that a little bit, and how volatility is how you can get your edge as an options trader. We talked about options trading being a zero-sum game. So for every winning trade, there's a loser, and you need to have more knowledge than the person on the other side of your trade in order to be profitable over the long term. And the best way to do that is to have a really solid understanding of volatility. Okay. And step 4 was studying some Greek. So we went over the main Greeks briefly. And we also dived into Greek ratios a little bit, which pretty important concept, something that's sort of key in my trading. Those delta theta ratio, vega theta ratio. We talked about things to look for in certain strategies and certain instruments that you're trading, and how the ratios might be different depending on what strategy or what instrument you're trading. So getting a really good understanding of your Greeks. That's step number 4. And step number 5 is strategy selection. So making sure you have a core group of strategies. You don't want to have too many strategies that you're trying to figure out. You can start with 4 or 5. I've got 6, but you could just pick 3 or 4 of those to start with, and stick with those and pick the right one depending on what your market outlook is. So we touched on that a little bit in terms of when to use each strategy. So options trading, as you know, it's awesome. I absolutely love it, and it can be life-changing, and it certainly has been for me and some of my students. I strongly believe that if you're here today, you have the belief, the desire, and the will to become a successful trader. And it's something you can get started on today. So a lot of these principles that you've learnt over the last couple of weeks, you can take them and apply them in your trading, okay? Nothing that I've shared with you so far is theory or what might work. this is exactly what I've done to achieve consistent returns year on year. And I've helped hundreds of traders achieve their goals of becoming successful traders. Doesn't matter if you're just starting out or if you've been trading for a number of years. It's all about making a strategic plan and implementing it step by step. So that's what I've been trying to guide you guys through. So how would you like to earn consistent income from the stock market for the rest of your life? Of course you would. That's what everyone's here for. That's what we want to do. And today I'm going to show you the exact strategies I use in my trading and how you can use these strategies to finally make the jump to being a pro trader. So I'm going to walk you through the exact strategies that have helped me consistently earn 12 to 24% per year. So again, I'm not aiming for those massive returns, not aiming for 50% or 100% returns in a year. It's all about a slow and steady build of your account. You know, you can add to your account with savings every month, and you're trying to just get that 1 to 2% return every month and avoid that drawdown. So that's what this process is all about. After the session today, I'm going to be opening up my group mentoring program once again. So this course has helped hundreds of traders, and I have spent the last 6 months making it bigger and better. So I'm expecting big things from the next intake of traders. Okay, so I put lots of work into it. I've spent lots of money getting a whole new website developed, so it's separate to the main website that you're used to. It's a complete membership site, and I'll tell you a little bit about that towards the end. So later on in the session, I'm going to show you exactly what you get when you join the course. There's going to be 10 modules, so we'll go through those and all the VIP bonuses that are only going to be available to the people that watch this webinar. Okay, so you guys are all my VIPs, right? You've been through this free course. You know, some of you might have been following me for a long time. Some of you might have just found me recently. But basically, you're all my VIP guys. I'm going to be doing a VIP launch of this course in the new format. So I've done these courses in the past, but I've really taken it to the next level. I've got much more content, much more material, and as I said, a completely new website that's completely dedicated to this course. Okay, so you'll get access to that as a VIP and all the VIP bonuses as well. So I'll give you a little sneak peek of what the new site looks like once you join. And again, I've invested thousands in the new design, so here's hoping you like it. So new design, new functionality, and as I said, completely separate site. So why are you here today? Not sure why you've showed up today and gone through this course. Maybe you've experienced some of these common problems. So we talked about this. You've had a good winning streak, but then you give it all back with one bad loss. So that's something I see really often. I get a lot of emails about this from beginners and even from experienced traders who've been at it for a few years, have a really good winning streak, and then all of a sudden something goes wrong, the market makes a big move, or they take on too much risk and they give it all back with one bad loss. So maybe you're in that situation. Maybe you're struggling to know when to enter, adjust, and exit trades, or you're chopping and changing from strategy to strategy. So there's a lot of information out there these days. Can be a bit overwhelming. It's almost information overload, and you're chopping and changing from strategy to strategy rather than just sticking to a proven process and sticking to strategies that we know work and just becoming an expert on those strategies. Maybe you don't cut losses early enough, or you're not disciplined or patient. So I talked about patience being absolutely key in terms of becoming a successful trader and not feeling like you have to be in the market all the time. You don't have to have an iron condor on every month. You know, if the situation doesn't warrant trading an iron condor, you don't have to trade one. You just be patient and you wait for your perfect setup, and you use other strategies potentially, or you just stay out of the market until you wait and find that opportunity. Okay, so the way I see it, you can have, you've got 3 options. You can figure it out all on your own, and most people take this strategy. They don't want to fork out the money for coaching, or they want the challenge of figuring it out themselves. I took that route for many years. That's exactly what I did, so I completely understand if that's the way you want to go. You know, trying to piece together information from books, forums, YouTube videos, etc. So that's what I did. That's what most people want to do. I totally understand that. It's exactly what I did, right? But I wasted years taking that approach, okay? And if I had my time over again, I'd do things very differently. Okay, I've been at it for you know, over 12 years now, and there was definitely a lot of wasted time in there that I wish I could take back. So yes, there is a lot of free information out there, as I said, but trying to piece it all together into a step-by-step system can be very difficult. There's information overload and it can be overwhelming, okay? So there's nothing wrong with taking that approach, trying to figure it out on your own, and I get it because I've been there and done that. It's going to take you much longer, but if that's what you want to do, I respect that, okay? The second option, you could sign up for a different program, and again, totally respect that if that's the route that you want to take. Other programs will sell for a similar price, but they are generally recorded videos and you're completely left on your own, okay? So you don't get the opportunity to ask nearly as many questions, whereas with my mentoring program, I'm going to literally hold your hand until you reach your trading goals, and you'll get unlimited access to pick my brain. So I'll go into that in a bit more detail shortly. So as I said, lots of other programs out there. Some of them will require a monthly fee, and some of them can be as high as $200 or $300 per month, which is really, really high. So let's assume you join and it takes you 1 year to really get it and turn pro or to reach your goals. So 12 months of that program at $300 is going to be $3,600. So it's pretty expensive, right? And that's just for 12 months. What if it takes longer? What if it takes 2 years? You know, you have to join this program for 2 years. That's $7,200. That's a lot of money to invest, right? So the third option is you could sign up for my Options Trading IQ Group Mentoring Program, and you can have your hand held as I walk you through a step-by-step blueprint to becoming a successful trader. There's one payment, you get lifetime access, so the choice is yours. So why aren't you successful? So why haven't you reached those goals that you want to reach? So maybe you're taking the route on the right, which is the Mr. Bean car. I used to love that show. You know, inefficient, slow, not a very fast way to get where you want to go. Or you could take the Tesla option. You take the efficient model and get there much quicker. Okay. So what is the course exactly? So it's a step-by-step course that walks you through the process. So the exact process that I use in my trading. We're going to have lots of case studies. We're going to be going through lots of examples. You know, I'm just going to be basically teaching you everything that I've learned over the last 12 years, and I've distilled it down into a simple format, okay? So you can log in 24/7. As I said, it's a whole new website. It's all digital, downloadable. Now for the VIPs, there's going to be 10 live sessions, okay? So similar to what we've done over the last couple of weeks, we're going to have these live sessions with lots of Q&A at the end. And we're going to go through the different modules. So there's 10 modules which I'll go through, all live sessions, okay? So literally step by step, nothing left out. I'm going to teach you everything I know over the course of a couple of months, and then there'll be ongoing support after that. And also there's going to be a community of traders going along with you to help support you and share ideas. So these are other traders similar to yourself, similar position to yourself, similar goals, similar experiences. We've got a great group going of people who've been through previous versions of this course, and everyone's kind of helping each other out and sharing ideas, which is great. So that's what it's all about. You don't have to go this alone. You know, you'll have lots of support from me, but you'll also have support of other traders who are going through exactly the same thing as you. Okay, so as I've said in the past, I've kind of been told a couple of times I've got an ability to take these difficult to understand concepts and break them down into easy to understand sort of bite-sized bits, okay? So a little quote from Einstein there, everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. So that's what I'm really aiming for with this course, is to, you know, distill that huge amount of information that's out there, 12 years of what I've learned, and distill it down into a really simple step-by-step process, okay? So the 10 modules that we're going to go through, the first 6 are the core strategies that I talked about. So we're going to go through those in a lot of detail, lots of examples, lots of case studies, okay? Iron condors, that's sort of the fundamental building block of what we're trying to do, so that's the first one. We'll do bearish butterflies in much more detail. We'll do weekly diagonals, again, more detail, more examples, more case studies. Go through the trapdoor, again, one of my favorite trades over the last couple of years that's been doing really, really well. Less volatility than an iron condor. Your P&L doesn't move around quite as much. and you don't get burnt as much on the upside. So a lot of people over the last few years, I get lots of emails about this. They generally, when they first learn about iron condors, they're worried about the downside. They're worried about a flash crash, 1987 style crash, always worried about the downside. But what I've seen is over the last few years, particularly we've been in a bull market, people have been really getting killed on the call side, which is not what people expect. So that's where I developed the trapdoor, much less risk on the upside, and a big profit zone on the downside if we do get that fall in the market, as long as the timing's right, as long as it doesn't happen too quickly. Okay, so that's the trapdoor. We're going to go over that in detail, full trading plans, all that sort of thing, examples, case studies. Same with the wheel. So that's I call it covered calls on steroids. That's the trading strategy that we use in the longer term part of our portfolio, where we're buying blue chip stocks that pay a high dividend, and we're selling puts, we're getting assigned, taking ownership, and then writing covered calls, and we do this, repeat the process. It goes round in a circle like a wheel. Really good strategy for long-term portfolios, and really beefs up that income. So you want low volatile stocks that pay high dividends, and you're generating option premium income as well. So we'll go over the wheel in a lot of detail, then strangles and weekly butterflies. So this is another one. We'll talk about long and short strangles when we use those, and weekly double butterflies is another strategy I've used. And this is a short-term strategy, really low capital at risk, but it has the potential to make a good profit if the market makes sort of a 2 to 3% move over the course of the week. And it's also something that I use to hedge trades like iron condors. So assume you put on an iron condor, one of the worst things that can happen is within that first week you get a big move either way. So sometimes I'll put on a condor, and then at the same time I'll put on this weekly double butterfly. So you've got a butterfly above the market and below the market. And if the market does have a big move, it's going to hurt the condor, but potentially some of that's going to be offset by the gain that you're making on the weekly double butterfly. So I'll go over that in detail, tell you how I use that. So that's the 6 core strategies, and I'm going to do one on technical analysis. So we'll go into that in detail. All the things that I look at when I'm analyzing the market in general, and also individual stocks and indexes and sectors, that sort of thing. Module 8 is going to be on trading psychology, and this is a really commonly overlooked part of trading, but I honestly believe it's one of the most important things in terms of how to deal with losses, how to deal with positions that are moving against you. Really important, again, and this is where you can get more of an edge, is if you can get the psychological aspect of trading under control. So it can be a bit emotional at times, and we've got trading plans and rules and things to help us deal with that. But still, psychology can still play a really important part, because you're making decisions. You're not a computer, okay? So there's going to be emotion involved. So doing a module on trading psychology and some of the things I've learned over the years and some tips for you there. And then I've got a complete module on volatility. So again, really want to get that drummed into you guys. We'll also be in that module delving into the Greeks on some of the other stuff as well. So delta, theta ratios, things like that. So volatility and Greeks really is module 9, going over that in a lot of detail, to really gain that edge that you guys need to be better than the other 50% of the traders out there. Okay, that's all you need to do. And then module 10 is quick tips. Some of those will be from my quick tips book that I've written, so you may have read them before, but I'll explain them in much more detail, and I'll explain why they're important. So again, 12 years worth of things that I've learned distilled down into some quick tips for you guys. So these will all be live sessions, all recorded, so you can go back and watch them over time. And I'm going to be adding new modules over time. So really what I want to do is we'll be doing 2 sessions a week, so for 5 weeks. So that'll get us out of 10 modules. Really want to get this stuff locked down, get the learning locked in for you guys, get the core concepts done and processed, and then from there I'll look to expand the course over time. So I've got plans for modules on more advanced stuff. So once you've got this stuff under control, we'll be looking at sort of gamma scalping. I'm also looking at some volatility strategies, so trading things like SVXY, and UVXY, so I'm working on some stuff there that I'm going to share with you guys. And basically you'll get access to sort of the inner sanctum. So anything that I'm working on, I'll be sharing with you and talking to you about as I'm working on it and doing these case studies. I'll still obviously be sharing a lot of free stuff on the blog and other things, but when I'm doing research, I do the research, and then it can take a while to do that research and then put that together into a blog post or a webinar, whereas you guys are going to get access to stuff that I'm doing in the moment. Okay, so I'm going to share all that with you rather than having to wait for me to put this stuff together. Okay, another module I want to do is on sort of long-term diagonal call spreads. So it's kind of a covered call strategy, but instead of buying the stock, you're using long-term in-the-money call options. So again, lots of stuff in the pipeline, but as I said, this is the start of it. These are the core modules. It's one payment. You won't have to pay anything else, and as I expand the course, you'll have lifetime access. Okay. So in terms of the course, again, Module 1, Iron Condors, will go over the theory and the trading plan, how to choose strikes, learning adjustment techniques. So again, we've got 10 core different adjustment techniques that we can use. Going to go through those in detail with examples. How to protect Iron Condors from sudden moves. So again, using things like our weekly double butterfly, long strangles, that sort of thing. We're going to analyze why monthly Iron Condors can be lower risk than weekly Iron Condors, and we'll do case studies. So we'll do case studies on monthly, weekly, and 60-day condors, things like that. Okay, and we'll follow along and we'll see what happens with them, and we'll talk about how to adjust them as we go along. And obviously learning how to use option Greeks and Greek ratios to your advantage. So we're going to really dive into that in a lot more detail. We've sort of touched on it briefly last week, and we're going to be looking at that in much more detail with sort of case studies as well. Okay, and lots of past examples of trades, so case studies and past examples as well. Okay. Bearish butterflies, module 2. So again, going over the theory and the trading plan. You've already kind of seen that, but we're going to go over it again in more detail and more examples. Learn why this trade performs well in almost any kind of market. Again, step-by-step instructions for scaling in and rolling the trade, and again, we'll be doing case studies that you can follow along with. And the best way to enter trades to reduce slippage. So we talked about how you're entering a three-legged trade with a butterfly, and how there can be a bit of slippage there. So how to reduce that, and also when volatility increases, those bid-ask spreads tend to widen, so how we can deal with that. We'll be looking at that. And also the most important thing to watch for when expiration approaches. So again, we don't want to be in that trade per the trading plan the last 10 days. We don't want to be in during that time. And again, plenty of examples to review. Weekly diagonals, again, going to go over those, more detail, more examples, learn how to make money on a stock if it goes up or down. So we talked about that. The best way to adjust the weekly trade. Generally I don't adjust it, but we'll look at different ways that we could if we wanted to, and learn how it can act as a Vega hedge for other trades in a portfolio. So we'll be looking at a portfolio as a whole and how some of these trades can help offset the risk. Okay, module 4 is the trapdoor. So a really good one. We'll go over the theory, we'll go over the full trading plan. Again, it's my personal variation on the condor to reduce upside risk with huge gain potential on the downside. So you'll learn why trapdoors are easier to manage and require less adjustment than condors, and reduce trading stress with this easy to manage, highly successful trade. So I've had a lot of success with this trade, and it requires less attention than a condor. So really, really cool to watch. We'll do case studies. We'll have condors and trapdoors on at the same time, and we'll watch them go, and you'll see that potentially the trapdoor doesn't need adjusting while the condor does, and we'll look at that in terms of delta dollars, Greek ratios, all those things we've been talking about, and you can see why the trapdoor can be a bit lower stress because you don't have to make as many decisions. So module 5, the wheel, again, covered calls on steroids, I call it. Go over the theory, the trading plan, lots of examples. It significantly outperforms outright stock ownership, okay, because you're getting option premium and you're getting dividends. It's a really powerful strategy. We'll talk about how to not get sucked in by high option premiums. So again, typically I will trade this on blue chip stocks that are lower volatility. Some people see this strategy and they think, oh great, I'm going to do covered calls on these really volatile stocks because the option premium is huge. But the option premium is huge for a reason, right? Because the stock tends to have these really big moves. So we tend to try to avoid that with this strategy. Again, it's all about sort of slow and steady. We want to be the tortoise rather than the hare, okay? Module 6, strangles and weekly double butterflies, theory, trading plan, examples, case studies, all that good stuff. Learn when is the best time to enter these trades, why index options often pin key strikes. So that's part of what we're aiming for with the weekly double butterflies, to place them at those key strike levels and hope that that index finishes right at that middle of the butterfly, okay? It's happened to me once before. It was brilliant. Doesn't happen all the time, but I'll share with you those examples and why it can work quite well. And also key technical indicators to watch for before entering these trades. Again, lots of examples, case studies. Module 7, technical analysis, trading techniques that have been proven to work time and time again. So again, stuff I've learned over the last 12 years. You can cut years off your learning curve by following my process. Learn why divergence is one of the most powerful technical setups. So this is one of my really key things that I look for, so I'll teach you all about that. How to use multiple time frames to have the highest probability of success. So we touched on that briefly when looking at the diagonal trade, looking at the 30-minute time frame and the 1-hour time frame, the daily time frame, and we can also look at weekly, monthly, that sort of thing. So I'll teach you all about that and the things that I look for, and my risk management techniques that ensure you'll never blow up your account. So that's really what we're trying to avoid, is having those big losses, because I've talked about how hard that is to recover from, both financially and emotionally, and maybe you've experienced that yourself. If you've had some bad losses, it's not just the financial impact, it knocks your confidence and can have an impact emotionally. And also why obsessing over indicators can be a bad thing. Module 8, trading psychology, how to be a disciplined trader. So again, we're all about following a process and being disciplined, and why working on trading psychology might make the biggest impact to your trading. Again, another one of these key things that's really important but often overlooked by a lot of retail traders, and this is where you can gain an edge, is by getting a bit of a leg up in terms of trading psychology. So key areas where beginners fail, so how to avoid those areas, why ego can be your worst enemy, and why being a process-oriented trader is so much more important than being a results-oriented trader. Okay, so that just means you're trying to focus on following a process, and you don't mind if you have losing trades as long as you've followed your process, because you're following a process that's been proven to work, and the expectancy is that over time it is going to work. And if you have a losing trade, it's all part of the process. Everybody has losing trades. The best traders in the world have losing trades, okay? And if there's anyone out there who tells you they never have a losing trade, that's an instant red flag, okay? So, following that process is the most important thing, rather than looking at, oh, I had a winning trade, okay? So I've had a winning trade, but I didn't follow my process. That's actually worse in a long-term perspective than having a losing trade where you did follow your process, okay? So we'll talk about that. And some of the habits of highly destructive traders and how to avoid them. So again, stuff that I see all the time, people making these mistakes and how to avoid those mistakes. So all about volatility. So option volatility explained in easy to digest chunks to help you avoid overwhelm. It's a massive topic, massive books written just on volatility. So I'm going to digest it all down into easy to understand chunks. Why learning about both historic and implied volatility will make a massive difference to your trading. We'll do a detailed study of the history of volatility, so you know what can happen in different scenarios. So just because volatility is low right now doesn't mean it's going to be low forever, and it's always a good idea to have a knowledge of history, because history tends to repeat in the markets, okay? It's really important to know what can happen, what happened to volatility during the financial crisis a few years ago, what happened during the Asian crisis in '97, what happened around September 11 and the tech crash, what happened to volatility. So we'll look into that. How to use implied volatility calculators. And again, I've got those I can share with you. How to use standard deviation to gain an edge, detailed explanation of volatility skew, so that's again a massive topic, but again I'll just break it down into what's important. You know, it's a fairly advanced topic. It's not something that you need to worry about too much. So again, I'll touch on it and the key points that you need to know. Why you need to be careful with VIX derivatives or volatility derivatives. So again, I'll probably do a whole module on some of these volatility derivatives and why you need to be careful with them and how you can trade them. And I'm working on some strategies at the moment, which I'll share with you guys when they're ready. How to hedge volatility to mitigate the flash crash risk. Okay, so that's always a risk in the markets. Doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. So we'll talk about that. And then the last one, as I said, quick tips. So all the tips that I've learned over the years to help you achieve success. So again, I'll just break down all this 12 years of learning into easy digest tips. Such as why choosing the right broker can save you thousands. I've already talked to some people, they're using, you know, Options House or some of these other brokers and paying too much in commissions. So that could save you a lot. Learn why knowing about options settlement and also options assignment can save you from embarrassing and expensive losses. Had a trader friend of mine who basically wiped out his account on being assigned some options. So definitely something you want to avoid there. Why you should never ever buy and hold leveraged ETFs. Okay, so we'll talk about that. How to reduce slippage and save yourself some serious cash. How to correctly journal and review your trades. So again, really, really important that we record everything. And again, I'll show you how to do that and the process that I follow. Again, it's that extra step. It's not just the trading side of things, it's the stuff you do outside of your trading, like journaling your trades and reviewing them, and that's how you can get ahead and get an edge. Okay, and we'll look at sort of portfolio construction as a whole, so how we can have those 6 core strategies and how they can all tie in together and how some of them will hedge the other ones. You know, you've got your condors, but you might have a long volatility strategy to hedge some of that volatility risk and some of that price risk. So we'll talk about portfolio construction as well. So who is the course for? It's for those who want to learn how to trade profitably no matter what the market conditions are. Okay, so that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for steady gains every year. You know, we're not going to have massive gains and we're not going to have massive losses. We just want to, we're not going to be subject to the market cycles. We don't want to make massive returns in bull markets and massive negative returns in bear markets. Consistent sort of 1 to 2% a month is what we're aiming for. Anyone looking to take their trading to the next level and reduce their learning curve, again, you know, if you want to take the fast track, you know, you can come join the course and distill, get 12 years of my knowledge distilled down into, you know, a couple of months, okay? If you're looking to build serious wealth over time, again, you know, this is a process. This is a long-term process. You know, we're looking to build our account in baby steps. You're emotionally stable enough to handle the ups and downs of being a trader. So trading, you know, can be emotional at times. So it's certainly not for people who tend to fly off the handle a bit and get upset if they have a losing trade. And also equally important is people who don't get overly excited when they have winning trades. Because again, that ego comes into the equation, and that's really important. So you can be emotionally stable enough to handle the ups and the downs, okay? It's for those who want to be a trader but don't want to spend all day stuck in front of a computer screen. So this isn't day trading. We're not trading in and out of stocks 5-10 times a day. You know, as I've said, I trade maybe, you know, 1 to 3 trades a week. It's really not a high frequency trading. And also, you know, I'm based in Australia. You know, the markets in the summer here are open 1:30 in the morning till 8 a.m. for me. So I'm absolutely not sat in front of my screen for those hours. You know, I tend to get up at 7 most days. If I need to do something with my trades, I'll do it. If I need to open new trades, I'll do that. And then a lot of my research and stuff is done outside market hours, and I'm prepared for the next day for what could happen and for any new trades that I want to put on. So it's certainly not something where you need to be stuck in front of a computer all day. You know, nobody really wants that. You're just trading one job for another. You know, nobody wants to be stuck in front of a computer all day, no matter what you do, really. You know, we want to be outside in the garden or, you know, with our families, with our friends playing golf, that sort of thing. So it's not a day trading system. It's a low volatility, low frequency trading. Okay. So you're looking for a step-by-step system that's proven to work. Again, you're going to follow my system, and I'm going to break it down into steps for you, okay? And you're committed to taking the time it takes to become successful. So, you know, it's a process. Again, it does take time. It takes commitment. So I'm not looking for people who are going to kind of join and then, 2 weeks later, I'm not really interested in this. I've lost my passion. I'm looking for really passionate people who really want to make a success of this. You know, I want people who are going to be really having a lot of interaction in the trading group, sharing ideas, helping other traders. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. So imagine being able to spend more time with your family, having more time to go on vacation. Imagine being able to make a living working 1 to 2 hours per day. That's what we're trying to aim for here, right? Imagine being able to quit that dead-end job and never work for someone else again. Okay. Imagine when people ask what you do for a living, imagine being able to say, I trade options for a living, or I'm a professional options trader. You know, imagine saying that to someone. How awesome is that going to feel? Okay. So if you like the sound of that, then this course is for you. Who is the course not for? Okay. So get rich quick schemers. Got no interest in those sort of people joining this course. It's a slow and steady process. We're not looking for 50%, 100% gains in a year. Okay. I've said it numerous times. Slow, steady process. Okay. It's probably not for complete beginners, and when I say complete beginners, I'm talking about people who've only just learnt what a call option is or what a put option is. Okay, you know, it's fine if you consider yourself a beginner, but if you know what an iron condor is, if you know what a butterfly is, then you're okay. But people who've only just found out what a call option is, probably not for you guys. Okay, you need to have a pretty basic understanding of options and a little bit of experience. Okay, you don't have to have traded for 2 years or 5 years. But you have to have a basic understanding of, you know, what is delta, and you know, you don't have to be an expert on delta because we're going to go over it in detail, but you need to be aware of what delta is, and you need to be aware of what an iron condor is and what a butterfly is. Okay, so some of that stuff is pretty basic stuff. You know, I'm not really going to be covering the absolute basics. Okay. It's also not for those who've been trading professionally for more than 2 years. Okay, so if you're doing that, you know, that's awesome. There's really no need to join this course. You know, I'm sure professional traders will still get some tidbits out of it. So you're welcome to join if you want. But if you're already trading professionally and full time, then it's probably not for you. Okay. Anyone looking for a holy grail or black box trading system? So it's not algorithmic trading. It's not something that you can press a button and it's all just going to work. You know, there really is no holy grail in trading. But, you know, I've developed a system that works, and I'm going to teach you, you know, as I said, everything I've learned in the last 12 years. It's also not for people who do not have their financial house in order. So if you've got a lot of credit card debt or something like that, this course is not for you. Pay off your credit cards first, please. Okay. You know, I don't want people in that situation, you know, putting their families at risk if they've already got a lot of debt and they don't have their financial house in order. Okay. So that's who it's not for. So what are some other people saying about the course? So these are people who've been through the previous version of the course, which was much smaller. As I said, I've really beefed it up. I've spent 6 months working on it. But this is what some other people have said. So Brad said, I owe my dedication to a trading journal and a trading plan to Gavin, and as long as I stick to it, I seem to make money. Dick said, Gavin is a no-nonsense, transparent trader who breaks down difficult topics into easy-to-understand bits. The best part, he knows how to minimize risk while maximizing upside. I highly recommend his course. And Chris said, with Gavin's help, I've gained confidence in my trades, so much that I was able to get a 34% return on investments on my last bearish butterfly. It's hard to find another mentor that could provide such amazing results. The next coffee or beer is on me, Gav. A few others. Steve said does a nice job in presenting some of his trading systems and how to monitor and manage trades. Also has very good downloadable support documents that provide good reference material. John said, great job on yesterday's presentation. The breadth, depth and detail and total value was incredible, and I look forward to participating in all the future sessions. Tim said, prior to the course, I thought I was getting a grasp and starting to understand options trading. However, at the end of the course, I now realised how little indeed I did know. Gavin provides clear, concise and well-structured information and is extremely responsive to answering all questions posed to him. Being able to trade alongside him in real time with real trading adjustment recommendations and rationale has proved extremely informative and has significantly improved my trading ability. Bob said, thanks for a very informative course, well worth the cost. I have a much better understanding of how to go about choosing trades with less shooting in the dark, as well as saving trades through adjustments. Okay, so that's what a few people have said. So I want to show you basically what the new website looks like. So this is inside the course. Again, hopefully, nice slick design. Hopefully you guys like it, spend a lot of money on it. Module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you hit view, you go into the modules, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, and again, we'll be adding more modules as we go. So this is inside, this is one of the Iron Condor modules. So once you join and log in, you'll get instant access to this. So a little bit about the module, you'll be able to download the trading plan and any other bonuses, the adjustment guide in this case, and then also a link to the webinar. Again, it's going to be live session. So module 1 is starting on Tuesday. So as I said, the course is going to be opening up after this session, and it's going to be open till midnight on Monday for registration, and then we start on Tuesday, okay? So that's what it looks like inside. You've got the dashboard, which is the welcome page. You've got all the modules, the bonuses, and some more good stuff there as well. So in terms of bonuses, these are standard bonuses. I'll get to the VIP bonuses after this, but you'll get the Iron Condor adjustment guide. So the 10 different strategies for adjusting Iron Condors. You'll be able to download that and use that as a reference guide. And also during the Iron Condor module, I'll be going over those adjustment techniques in detail, when and how to use them. You'll get a member tools spreadsheet. So within that, I've got a position size calculator, standard deviation calculator, performance analyzer, portfolio tracker, and options Greek cheat sheet. So for those of you who are struggling a little bit with the option Greeks, I've developed a cheat sheet where you can put in some parameters and it'll give you some guides as to what your Greeks should be and where you might want to set your adjustment points. Okay, so that's a really good one. Profit tracking spreadsheet, some of you may already have this one, but again, really important to keep track of our trades and review them periodically. So I'll share with you the spreadsheet I use to do that. There's a couple of different versions of it, so you can choose the one that you like. So within the one spreadsheet, I think there's 3 different tabs. You just choose the one you like and use that. Number 4, you'll get 24/7 access to me, to my email hotline and to Skype. So if you've got any questions, obviously you'll get priority email support, and also I'll give you my Skype ID. So if you've got any questions, you want to instant message me, you want to have a quick call, that's fine. Just jump on there. I'll give you my details, so that's no problem. Now, bonus number 5 is something, a goal that I've set for myself, basically. So my aim with this course over the next few years, whatever, is to help you guys achieve a combined total of $1 million in trading profits. Okay, so that's a goal I've set for myself, and you're going to come along for the ride, hopefully. Okay, so hopefully you'll be willing to share some of your results. Again, it can be anonymous. You don't need to use your name, but I'm going to track it all, and I want to help you guys make $1 million in profits. That's my goal. And also, as part of that, what I would love for everybody to commit to, you don't have to, but what I would love is that you commit to donating 10% of your trading profits to charity every year. So, if we can get a number of people through this course and end up making $1 million together, that's $100,000 for charity. I just think that would be amazing if we could, as a group, have that goal and get to that point. And then, we can either collectively choose a charity to donate it to. We can pool the money somehow and do that, or we can sort of all individually make those payments to charities of our choices. But that's a goal I've set for myself. Really want to achieve that. Help you guys, help the world become a better place by helping charity. So that's bonus number 5. Again, I think it's important for us as a group to have that common goal that we're working towards. So would love to have you guys along for the ride. That could be 20 people joining the course or 50 people. I don't know how many people are going to join the course, But my goal personally is to stick at it until I reach that level, and it might take a few years if I don't get many people through the course. It might happen really quickly if we get lots of people in the course. And everybody's trading with a different amount of capital, so everybody is going to have, you know, their 10% return is going to be a different dollar value, but on a complete dollar basis, that's the goal I've set for myself, and I'm going to stick at it until I make it. And it might be a couple of years, I don't know, but you know, I'm going to keep working until I get there, okay, or help you guys get there. Bonus number 6 is the private Facebook group. So again, we've already got some good traders in there who've been through previous versions of this course. You know, all similar to yourself, similar goals, similar experience, and trading similar strategy. So a really great place to bounce ideas off. And I'm always in there, you know, answering every question that comes in. So I'm there as well, and you'll have other traders that you can connect with and ask questions of, and who knows, maybe there's even traders in your area that you can meet up with in person. So you'll get access to that. So as I said, you guys are all my VIPs for coming through this free training series. You've already got a good base knowledge, so you're eligible for the VIP bonuses, and this is going to be a one-off, again, because I'm just releasing this new version of the course for the first time. So the VIP bonuses are going to be a one-off, okay? So first one, weekly Q&A and strategy session. Okay, so we're going to go through the 10 modules, again, all live, twice a week for 5 weeks. We'll get the 10 modules done, and then after that we're going to do a weekly Q&A, and we're going to be doing case studies. So we'll be talking about the case studies, and again, any research that I'm doing, any ideas that I'm working on, I'll be sharing those with you guys. So VIPs are going to get access to that. So it's not like you do the 10 modules, you do the 5 weeks, and then that's it. There's going to be a lot of ongoing support. And again, it's lifetime access for you guys, okay? The first 5 buyers, so I want to reward people who take action, the people who are really committed. So the first 5 buyers are going to get a 1-hour one-on-one session with me. Again, there's going to be loads of interaction with me. We're going to have the 10 live sessions, you know, the once-a-week strategy session from then on. You know, so over the course of the year, we're looking at sort of you know, 50 or 60 hours of interaction. But also, if you want that one-on-one, the first 5 buyers will get that. And again, if there's not many people who come into the course, some of these modules and group sessions, you know, it's going to be almost one-on-one anyway, potentially. So, you know, at the end of every session, similar to what I've done here, I always stick around at the end and cover Q&A. So there's going to be lots and lots of interaction. So that's the first 5 people, and then also I'm going to give away one $200 Amazon voucher. So I'll do a live video or something. I'll put all the names in a hat, and I'll pick out a winner. So that'll just really help you guys if there's, you know, a bunch of trading books that are on your wish list. You know, $200 should really cover quite a lot of those. So that'll be one lucky person who'll be able to. You know, you can use it on anything if you want, but you know, I know myself personally, and everyone here probably has you know, books that they want to get off Amazon that are on trading, so that'll just help you out. So that's one lucky person will get that as a VIP bonus. So a quick recap, you're going to get the 10 live modules, so those ones that we talked about. You're going to get the 6 bonuses, and then also the VIP bonuses, so the weekly strategy sessions, the first 5 buyers getting the one-on-one, and also the $200 Amazon vouchers. So the Facebook trading group as well, you'll get access to. And also this next one, an unprecedented 30-day 110% guarantee. So no one else in the industry will give you this sort of deal, okay? Lots of people do money-back guarantees, but I'm really confident that you guys are going to love this course. So if you sign up and you find that you don't like it, it's not for you, Gav doesn't know what he's talking about, ask for your money back, I'll give you your money back, and I'll give you an extra 10% out of my pocket, okay? I'm really confident that you guys are going to love this course, and I'm happy to do that because I don't think there's going to be many people asking for their money back, all right? And again, lifetime access, so one payment for you guys, and that's it. You'll never have to pay anything else again. You get access to the VIP bonuses and any future modules, so any future videos, all those strategy sessions, one payment, lifetime access, okay, and that's it. So how do you join? So here's the link, https://optionstradingiqmentoring.com. So again, it's a whole new website just for the course and just for people going through that course. The S there at the front means it's completely secure, so with an SSL certificate, so there's no worries there when you're going to make payment. It's completely encrypted. Again, I had to spend some money to get that set up. So that's what the S indicates there, if you didn't know that. Completely secure payment, so no worries there. I'll type that into the chat in case you want to go and visit that. HTTPS. Okay, so there you go. So hopefully that link works there. Hopefully I didn't make any typos. But that's the link to go to if you want to check it out. Again, they'll have all the information there, the frequently asked questions. I've shared with you a little sneak peek inside the course and also what some of the details are. But if you go to that link, just to make sure you're in the right place, this is what it will look like. You've got my logo up the top there. You've got the login, sign up buttons up the top here. And then if you scroll down, there's lots more information. So again, it's got all the information about the modules, the bonuses, frequently asked questions, things like that. So you can just scroll down or you hit the Learn More button and that'll take you down. Again, whole new website, so go and check it out. Again, that's the address there and you can find it in the chat. So optionstradingiqmentoring.com, all one word. So go and check it out. Okay, so that's that. In terms of payment, lifetime membership, one payment, $997. So again, really affordable if you compare to some of the other programs that are out there. We talked about those ones that are $200–300 a month, and if you've got to join for a year or 2 years, $3,600, $7,000. There's other programs out there for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. I think this is really, really affordable compared to what's out there and in terms of what you're going to get. So that's unlimited access, unlimited support, all the case studies, all the guides and checklists. You get all the trading plans, all the training library, so all the videos are going to be recorded, any future modules that I create. So lifetime access and one payment, that's it. You get all it's got 5 bonuses there, but it's actually 6 bonuses, and also a trading buddy. So what I want to try and do, and again, not sure how well it'll work, but if you guys are interested, what I want to try and do is pair you up with someone else who's at a similar level. So not only will you have that group support in the Facebook group, but you'll have one person who you can kind of chat with, and you can, if you want, get on the phone with that person. So I want to try and set you up with a buddy who's around the same level as you. So you've just got that extra support. Obviously, you're going to get lots of support from me and from all the other traders in the group, but I think just having that trading buddy to keep you motivated, keep you on the right track, I think could be helpful as well. If you don't want to be part of that, that's totally fine. You want to go on your own, totally fine, but the offer's there if you want. I'm going to try and pair you up if you would like. Okay, so that's how you join. If you go to the website and join, you'll get taken to, again, the secure checkout, so it's all encrypted. You choose your username and your password, again, just making sure you're in the right spot. There's me and the fam. 30-day, 110% back guarantee. So username, password, email address, pop in your details there, submit and check out. So pretty straightforward. And then you'll get taken to a membership confirmation page, which is what this will look like. So it'll have your invoice number, your date, your account, your membership level. This is basically a link to the dashboard. So watch the welcome video. So I've got a little video that you can watch just welcoming you to the course. So that is what it looks like when you get in. Now you'll get an email as well confirming that you've joined, but for some reason it takes about 5 or 10 minutes to come through, so don't panic if you don't get the email. But basically as soon as you put in your details, your card details, and that's all approved, you'll be logged into the system and you'll have access to all the modules and everything. Obviously we haven't recorded them yet, but you'll get to download all the bonuses, that sort of thing. So don't worry if you don't get that email straight away, it will come through. So that's basically, once you see this page, you're in. Okay, you're confirmed, you have access to everything. Again, you click that link to the welcome video. This takes you to the dashboard that we saw in that top heading before. Quick intro video from me in my office there. Got my daughter's colouring and some stories on the background there. But that's me, little welcome video, just welcoming you into the course, just telling you a little bit about it. Again, some of the stuff we've been talking about today, and just the link to the webinars as well. So you go there and register. That'll register for all 10 webinars, for all 10 modules, so you only have to register once, and then that's it. So just make sure you do that once you log in. So that's the site, and then again, registration closes January 23rd, so that's Monday at midnight, so New York time at midnight on Monday. Again, so that's the VIP launch, so this is a one-off for VIP bonuses, just for you guys, because you're my people, and price will be going up next time, okay? As I said, this is the first time I'm launching this new course, this new version, bigger and better version of the course, and I'm going to be adding to it as time goes by with new modules, new videos, new case studies. So there's no extra payment for you guys, but when I do launch it again, I'll probably open it up again in 6 months' time or something, when I've got some more modules recorded, and the price will be going up. So if you did want to get in, if you're sitting on the fence, you know, just keep that in mind, the price is going to go up next time. All right, so that's it. If you want to join now, again, optionstradingiqmentoring.com. So go and check that out. And that's that. So I hope to see you in the course. Again, really appreciate you guys who've come and done this free series. I hope you've got a lot out of it. You know, if you don't decide to join the course, that's totally fine. You know, obviously I'm still going to be doing lots of blog articles and other free stuff. So, you know, continue to come back to the site and check out all the free stuff if you don't decide to join the course. But I really do hope you join, and I'd love to see you in there, okay? All right, so a few questions coming through. So will I cover portfolio design and management? Yep, so what I do is we'll be looking at sort of a theoretical $100,000 capital base, and we'll look at how we would place those trades and set up a portfolio. You know, again, if you've not got that amount of capital, if you've got less or you've got more, you can adjust that accordingly. But the strategies will be the same. You just adjust the position size. Is this a new course to the previous one that I did last year? Yeah, so some of it is going to be similar. Some of the examples are going to be the same. I've got lots more examples, lots more. I've added a couple of new strategies. So strangles I didn't cover before. You know, I've got dedicated modules on volatility and psychology, and also the quick tip. So it's basically a beefed up version of the previous course, and also it's an ongoing thing, right? So previously I've done sort of a 1-month course. We go through the videos, we follow along with some trades, and then that's it, a little bit of ongoing support, but really there's no more live sessions, whereas with this one, it's going to be ongoing. And I'm going to, you know, as I said, continue to open it up every 6 months or so if people want to join. But it's going to be ongoing. We'll do the 10 modules over the next 5 weeks, and then there'll be a once-a-week session as well. Okay. How many people are working toward making $1 million? Well, it really depends. I mean, it depends how many people join. If only 10 people join, you know, I'm going to have my work cut out for me. It's going to take a lot longer. You know, if 20 people join, you know, that's sort of 50,000 in profits per person. So again, it's hard to know until I see who joins, and also everybody's got different capital bases, right? So might have some people join who've got a really big capital base. Obviously, it's going to be a bit easier to get to that goal. If I get a lot of people who join who've got a really low capital base, it's going to take longer, okay? But, you know, that's a dollar figure that I've given myself, and however many people it takes to get there is how many it takes. So I'll do the sessions again on Tuesdays, Thursdays, 8 o'clock, but what I'll probably do is every now and then I might switch them up a bit for the Europeans, because obviously it's not a convenient time for any Europeans. So obviously they're going to want to be live as well. So I can either do an encore session of certain modules, or some of them I might mix them around, but generally it's going to be around the same time as these ones. How many adjustments do these trades require on average each trade? Yeah, it depends on the trading strategy. I typically, if I'm having to adjust 2 to 3 times on a trade, you know, it's almost like the market's telling me that I'm wrong, and I usually end up closing the trade at that point. I don't want to just keep making heaps and heaps of adjustments, okay? You know, I'm working on some other little things that I'll share with you guys if you join, but generally I want to keep it pretty simple and stick to those rules and not adjust too much. I don't want to be over adjusting. You have to be in front of your computer during the trading day to be able to profitably trade these strategies. You don't need to be in front of a computer all day, but obviously you have to be able to place trades during market hours. You know, you can trade on your mobile. It's a little bit more difficult, obviously. So people who've got full-time jobs and can't access the brokerage account at work, it's definitely going to be a little bit more difficult, but it is doable. You know, as I said, I tend to only be awake for an hour or so when the markets are open, and I have an app on my phone where I set alerts. So if something crazy does happen in the market, you know, I get woken up and I come up and have a look at what's going on. But that really happens very, very rarely, and usually, you know, some days I don't even get up at 7. I don't even need to watch the market if I've got low risk positions, or if I'm out of the market, if the position or the market environment isn't conducive to my trades, I might be out of the market a little bit or have very small positions, and I may not even need to look at the market. So no, you don't need to be in front of your computer all day, but you do need to have the ability to place trades. Will the classes have the same presentation system you're using here? Yep, so exactly the same. Can I audit after paying the first time? Can I audit? I'm not sure what you mean by audit. I guess you're meaning try the course. So yeah, of course you can come in, try the course. Again, I've got that guarantee. If for any reason the course isn't for you, you don't like it, I'll give you your money back plus an extra 10%, okay? So it's really, there's no risk. There's no risk for you guys. What would you suggest as fair initial capital amount to benefit from the course? Look, you need to have at least sort of 10,000 to be able to use some of this. So, you know, preferably a little bit more. But again, these concepts that I'm teaching, you'll have for life, and you can slowly build that account size over time. So the capital base doesn't matter too much. Some of the strategies will require more capital, like that bearish butterfly. You know, the total capital is only 7,500. Now, you wouldn't necessarily want to risk your entire account on a bearish butterfly, but you can trade it with a reasonably small amount of capital. And also, instead of trading Russell, you could look at trading IWM, which is 1/10 the value. So you could trade much smaller. Same with iron condors. Instead of trading Russell or SPX, you could trade IWM, SPY. You could trade the Qs. So, you know, the principles that I teach are important, and then you can apply them depending on what your account size is. And again, I've got that member tools spreadsheet that can help you with position sizing and things like that, and can help you with advice there as well. How many times a year this course will I be releasing the course? So look, probably every 6 months or so. Yeah, so I'm going to be obviously releasing this weekend, closing it on Monday. Then I'm going to be pretty busy for the next few months with the sessions and all the questions and support for you guys. So it'll definitely be a good few months before I can release again. So, and again, as I said, the price will probably be going up next time as I get more material and more videos and things like that in there. Live trade. So yeah, what we're going to be doing is case studies. So we'll look at some trades in the market. I don't provide advice to you guys. I don't say you should go out and trade this iron condor, but we'll be placing condors and looking at them from a case study perspective, okay? So it's not really like a trade alert thing, just from a legal and compliance standpoint. You know, it's not, you know, I don't really want to be telling you guys what to do. So we'll be doing case studies, but it's not, certainly not financial advice. It's not telling you guys to go and do this. I'm going to teach you my process, and then you guys will go and implement it. But we will be looking at, you know, case studies live in the market and discussing those, okay? Do I have any tips on hedging against currency fluctuations? You know, I've got some small things I can share with you there, Bruce. but certainly in terms of the course and the modules, it's not really something I cover. But I can hop on a call with you or something and we can talk through some ideas. Can't make the Tuesday nights. Will you be recording the sessions? Yes, obviously everything recorded. How long are you offering the weekly Q&A sessions? So indefinitely, basically. So yeah, join the course and then once a week we'll be chatting and talking ideas. $9.97, that's US, so it's all sort of US dollars. Yep. Can you use limit orders to place trades out of hours? Yeah, you can, but I don't really advise it. So, what I do occasionally, again, if I'm, with the market hours that are available to me, what I'll do sometimes is, so I don't have to fully get up and get into my computer, I'll have some of the spreads lined up already in my mobile, in my phone, and if I wake up in the night, I'll take a look where the markets are, and if I want to get into that trade, I'll do it on my phone. So you can do that. But it's certainly more advisable if you do have access to sort of your brokerage account on a desktop during market hours. Limit orders are tough, especially if you're placing multi-legged trades. So you're doing like a trapdoor that's got 2 put spreads and a call spread. Maybe one of them gets filled but the other doesn't. So it's it's not really advisable. What if someone is not successful? Will you provide one-on-one support? Look, to a limited extent, for sure. I mean, I'm hoping everyone's going to be successful, but if you're struggling, yeah, sure, you can ping me on Skype. We can have a quick chat through any issues that you're having. Yeah, for sure. Okay, what was my return? So typically I'm in the sort of 12 to 24% range is what I'm looking for. How many of these strategies are you typically in at the same time? So I wouldn't have all 6 on at one time. So usually about 3 per month is what I'll be doing. Do you share your trading plans for each strategy? Yeah, absolutely. So you've probably already got the Condor plan that I give away and I talked about in one of the first sessions. We also went through the diagonal and the bearish butterfly trading plan. So obviously the other strategies, if you join the course, you'll get those trading plans as well, and you'll get them in Word format. So if you don't want to trade them exactly the way I trade them, if you want to adjust them a little bit, you can just make changes to that document easy enough. In an account value of 100,000, about how many contracts on average are going to be traded per month? Depends on the strategy, but as an example, the Russell bearish butterfly, you're looking at 3 contracts for your initial position and then scaling in lots of 3. So full allocation would be about 9. Condors might be about 10 contracts, depending on how wide you place the strikes, similar with the trapdoor. Then I'll talk about portfolio allocation and how much capital to allocate to each strategy. So we don't want to allocate. Generally, I like to keep a little bit of cash in reserve for adjustments, and I also don't like to take on too much risk, as you know. So I never have 100% of my capital allocated. I might have 20 or 30% in trapdoors and a little bit in bearish butterflies. Usually I'm below that sort of 50% level, and I've got plenty of cash on the sidelines to make adjustments if I need to. If I wanted to get returns of say 25 to 35% per year, what would be needed to change with your strategies? Yeah, again, if you want to be more aggressive with it, that's up to you. It's certainly not what I teach, but you each to their own. You could just trade bigger position size, basically. So again, I'm generally not trading more than about 50% of my capital. You could increase your position size. How many courses have I done so far? So the previous version of the course, again, was much smaller, and I've done that about 6 times. So, I'd do that a couple of times a year. Spent the last 6 months sort of building this new course. Again, some of the information is the same, but I've really expanded on everything and just made it a lot more streamlined and a lot more sort of process-oriented, step by step. So Yeah, I've done it quite a few times in the past, but this is a completely different version. And again, it's an ongoing thing rather than just a 1 month thing. Will I be including tutorials on using Interactive Brokers trading platform or other platforms? Yeah, I can certainly walk you through Interactive Brokers as that's what I use, but in terms of other platforms, not really, because you know, I'm just not familiar with them. Do I trade FX options? Not really. You know, I might trade occasionally some of the ETFs, the currency ETFs like FXA for the Australian dollar. Obviously I have exposure there, so I can trade that sometimes the euro, but not hugely something that I'm into. Again, how many strategies do I expect to have open at one time? So we've got the 6 core strategies. I might have 3 or 4 open in any given month. Randy, yeah, got your question there. We can talk about that offline for sure. We can do something there. Yep, same goes Chuck. We can definitely do that. How do you adjust your option positions when you are away of trading hours or the stock exchange and you need to adjust positions? So again, you know, I've got alerts on my phone if certain levels get hit and it's important, I'll get up and do it. Otherwise, I just do it when I get up in the morning. And again, I'm not trading massive positions here. I'm not having 10, 20 positions open at any one time. I've usually got 2 or 3 positions on, you know, maybe 4. Not all of them are going to get hit at the same time. So I might have 4 positions on, 2 of them need adjusting, get up at 7, or maybe I get up a little bit earlier and adjust. Very rarely I'll have to get up in the middle of the night and do something. You know, only happens, you know, once every couple of months basically. Will we be able to follow your trades in the beginning? It's not, again, not really following my trades because again, it's kind of a bit of a grey area in terms of providing financial advice, which I can't do, but I can do case studies which will be following along in the market live, okay? All right, so someone's already signed up. That's great, Chris, awesome. You know, known you for a long time, so that's going to be great to have you in there. And you're saying when you're in the course, only Tuesdays are listed, not Thursdays. Probably just made a typo there. So yeah, twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And again, I might mix the sessions up a little bit if there's some Europeans who want to join or people who can't make those times. Occasionally I might mix them up just so it's a bit fair for everybody, okay? How many traders are currently in the Facebook group? That's a good question. I think there's probably about 20 or so. You know, some of them are not overly active, but there's a group of about 3 or 4 who are quite active. And then, you know, hopefully we get a few people through in this version and we can all, you know, help each other along. Okay, Andy, awesome. You know, again, sort of known you for a little while now as well, so great to have you on board. That's fantastic. 10 to 20% annual returns on total capital or invested capital in trade. So that's on total capital. So again, you know, that's why my returns are maybe a little bit lower than some of these more aggressive traders, is because they'll trade 100% of their account, whereas I don't. So 10 to 20% on total account size. Will I be posting a recording of this session later? Yep, absolutely. So again, recording and the slides as well, if you want to check those out again. Cool, no worries, Chuck. Yep, so payment by credit cards, again, it's all completely secure. And then again, take about 5 or 10 minutes to get that email confirmation, so don't worry there, but as soon as you've paid and that payment's all gone through, you'll be inside the membership system and you'll have access, okay? What email address can I contact you with? So I have 2, but one is basically forwarded to the other. So info@optionstradingiq is kind of the main one, but I've also got optionstradingiq@gmail.com. And that one gets forwarded to the info one, okay? So Bruce, awesome, again, sort of recognize you, we've chatted a little bit. Awesome to have you on board. So this is great, guys. Like, we've got some really committed people. So you know, depending on if anyone else has joined, there's 3 people who are going to get the one-on-one session, so we'll touch base to organize that. Do you use scanning of options for searching options trades? Not really. I have a core sort of watch list that I use. and I sent that out a couple of weeks ago on email if you were following me back then. It was an email subject called Handy ETF List. It's a little PDF document with about 30 or so ETFs that I trade. So I typically don't trade too many stocks. You know, I don't like that earnings risk that we have there. I prefer to trade stuff that doesn't have these 10 to 15% moves, like you know, Netflix last night you know, moved 8% or whatever. So I try not to trade those things. Okay. So I don't really do much scanning of options. I have like a core group of ETFs and indexes that I trade, and then I'll occasionally I will look at some stocks, again on things like the wheel trade or that sort of long-term diagonal trade that I was talking about using leap options. I actually just put one on today on Verizon. So again, those really low volatility stocks that don't move around too much, pay a decent dividend. So that's what I'm looking for in that longer term portfolio section of my portfolio. So yeah, I can share that with you if you haven't got it. Basically all the instruments I trade. Okay. Randy, awesome, great to see you joining. Yeah, we can chat. So again, that's at least 4 people who've joined. So 1 left for the VIP bonuses. This is awesome, guys. And really great to see everyone's so committed and keen. So that's awesome. You know, familiar names here, so that's going to be great to chat to you guys. And again, just can't wait to get involved and start helping you guys and teaching you guys this stuff. Vishal's joined as well. Beautiful. All right, so we've got at least 5. Like I'll have to check the order of when you guys got in. I want to try and be fair, but that's at least 5. So it looks like all the 5 one-on-ones are gone. Again, if you wanted to check it out, where are we here? Here we go. Bring that across. Just to show you, make sure you're in the right place. If you guys can see that, I see it's just coming up. So again, optionstradingiqmentoring.com. I'm already logged in here. So this is the basically the front page. You guys won't see dashboard, modules, bonuses, etc. till you're signed up. But you can scroll down. There's a little timer until we close the cutoff. So again, stuff we've been through, what's included in the course, all the modules. We got the bonuses there. Now I know we had 5 people join already, so that sort of one-on-one offer is already gone. But you know, really impressed to see you guys taking action. So maybe I'll have to come up with some other extra bonus for you guys. You know, because that went pretty quickly, didn't it? Those 5. So you know, I might have to think of something else to offer you guys if you're sitting on the fence and you want to take action in the next 24 hours. You know, I can think of something and email you guys. You know, maybe I can have some sort of smaller bonus for people who sign up in the next 24 hours. Okay, so who the course is for. Again, join that community. Buy with confidence, 30-day, 110% guarantee. So if you don't absolutely love the course, I'll give you your money back plus another 10%. So again, no one else is going to be offering that. You know, as I said, I've spent hours and hours researching this stuff, okay? You know, if your time's worth $25 an hour, massive investment for you to spend the amount of time that I have spent. So I'm going to distill that knowledge down for you guys. And again, if you decide to join another program, again, could be much more expensive. So Richard's joined as well. That's awesome. I'll have to log into my system and check the order. So sound like you joined pretty soon after I gave the link, so potentially you're one of the 5 again. I'm sorry, but I can't check right now, but I will confirm afterwards for you guys. And again, if you if you did miss out on those bonuses, but you joined really quickly, I want to try and reward you guys for taking action. I love people who are committed and who are really keen, so I'll try and think of some other bonus for you guys who joined really quickly, but maybe you didn't quite make that first 5. Again, frequently asked questions here, so you can check those out. You just hit the plus button. Okay, so again, setting up a portfolio of trades based on a $100,000 account, but the same principles can be applied to a smaller account size. Okay, training's all recorded. Again, just take a look at these frequently asked questions if you want. 30-day, 100% guarantee testimonials that we looked at, and then just join now if you want to join. You can click either one of those. I'm logged in, so I don't know if it'll take me to the right place, but yeah, I'm already logged in, but this is basically what you'll see here. Instead of this, you'll have up the top where you choose your username, put in your email and password, and then your card details there, and then submit. Okay, and that's that. Yeah, maybe 30 minutes one-on-one, potentially. Yeah, that's a really great idea. Yeah, that's something I could look at. Yep. Let me think about it, and then I'll get back to you guys. Will you do this course by teaching us also IB options platform? Yeah, so absolutely, I'll teach you guys how to use Interactive Brokers. It's a really overwhelming system when you first log in, and I remember when I first opened my account, I just thought, oh wow, this is crazy. I'm never going to get the hang of this, but it doesn't take long. And I've got some videos out there on YouTube already that maybe you've seen, so you can check those out, and then also I'll show you exactly my process within that system. But I can't teach you any other platform because I don't really use any other platform. But really the same principles can be applied no matter what you use. And I do recommend Interactive Brokers. I don't have any sort of affiliation with them. Thinkorswim and Interactive Brokers are the two that I recommend. If you're in the US, I'd probably go with Thinkorswim. They're probably a little bit better. But if you're not in the US, and you're using E-Trade or Options Express or one of these guys, you're probably paying pretty significant commissions. I'd really recommend looking into Interactive Brokers. It's a shame that we can't get Thinkorswim overseas, but that's the way it is. All right, so I hope to see you guys all in the course. That's awesome that you guys have already signed up. I really appreciate that. I can't wait to chat to you guys. It's going to be awesome. I think the 30-minute idea for the people who missed that first 5 is a really good one. Obviously, I'm going to be pretty busy over the next few weeks, so it might take me a little time to get to everyone. So let me think about that, and I'll confirm on email if that's what I'm going to do. But there will definitely be some sort of bonus for those people who sign up in the next 24 hours. But missed the first 5, okay? Yeah, Tastyworks, exactly. So Tastyworks is coming out soon, done by Tom Sosnoff, same guy who does Tasty Trade. So they're coming out with a brokerage platform. I've been in contact with them, and at the moment it's not going to be available to people in Australia. Which is a shame, but they said that may change in the future. Unfortunately, Australia is really highly regulated, and it's very hard for US companies to do that. There's a lot of hoops and things they've got to jump through, a lot of compliance and costs and things like that. But who knows, maybe they will open it up for us at some stage. But if you're not in Australia, if you're in some other countries in Asia or wherever, or Europe, if you're watching from Europe, or if you're on the replay, yeah, Tastyworks is absolutely going to be a good option. Still a little rough around the edges still, according to Chuck. Yeah, so potentially, I mean, it's a new system, so maybe they're going to have a few kinks to work out. But certainly, if you can open an account with them, it's worth doing. I don't know if they have paper trading accounts that you can open, but you could always open one and just put a little bit of capital in there and test it out. But certainly something to look into. And again, if you're using those, Scottrade, E-Trade, and you're paying any more than about $1 a contract for options, that's too much. Like, some people email me all the time, and I get so frustrated. They're paying $40 a contract or something like that, or or $40 per trade. It's just crazy. There's no point doing that. There's other options out there. Option Monster is another one I hear people use. Don't have a lot of experience with them, but again, it's run by sort of the Nigerian guys, Guy Adami, who are pretty good guys, been in the industry a long time. So I imagine their system is pretty good and pretty competitive in terms of fees. So maybe that one's okay, but again, that sort of $1 per contract is a good starting point. Yeah, other options out there, exactly. Okay, guys, I'll stop the recording, but I'll stick around in case there's some more questions. Cool. So thanks, guys, and I hope to see you in the course if you haven't already signed up. Otherwise, talk to you soon.